I bought 320 of them. One of my biggest problems when I got there is that I didn't have skin tones. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Patricia, I'm an artist and illustrator, and this is a continuation, sort of, from my previous video, which has been swatching 320 Ohuhu markers, which is the huge set that I have here on my side. The Ohuhu markers are these ones, and they have a chisel side, which is this shape, and then on the other side they have the nib. This is like a flexible type of nib, and I bought 320 of them. So in that video we're swatching them and I'm telling you a little bit of my first impressions, but as the footage run really long, I thought let's do another video where I actually properly test them in a piece. I don't know when I'm going to be posting this, but basically this is around Christmas time, so I have been in my mom's house in Portugal for a few days, and instead of taking this whole thing with me, what I decided to do is just take a little package of them. So I could have taken the whole thing, but I didn't want to travel with all that weight, and also I thought this could be a challenge too. There's still a lot of them. I'm not really sure how many they are, but it's still like a selection, you know? And I picked them really randomly. So one of my biggest problems when I got there is that I didn't have skin tones. I thought this might be a nice skin tone, and then it turned out it was really pink, and I didn't like it exactly for a skin tone, although I tried. There were a couple more here that I thought could be good skin tones, but they weren't. I'm gonna show you just really quick so you can have a little bit of a quick pick. I took the blender, which basically was useless. I just thought, let's take the blender, but to be honest, I've never been a huge blender user. Sometimes maybe it can do the trick, but yeah, I took a black that I didn't use either. And then I think from the others I've picked here and there different colors because I did several different things. I took several blues thinking that they would be very different, and some of them are really similar too. Problem that I found is that I took really saturated colors. Some of them are lighter, but for example, when I wanted to do something with purple, all the 3 shades of purple / violet that I had were these ones. They're nice, they look good together, but if I wanted to blend this too, it was a little bit of a stretch. But it was a fun experience. It allowed me to try this out. Obviously I didn't have the flexibility of having all of the colors, but then another thing that sometimes happens when you have so much color is that you overdo it. Little note from Editing Patricia over here. As I'm editing, I noticed I did 2 different things in the footage that I have. I initially wanted to tell you about my first tries with a limited palette over Christmas, plus recording a nice process video. But time passed, and then I had another idea for how I wanted to test the markers. So I recorded the process of this idea, turning different apple types into ladies and drawing both. It was a nice fun spread, but has no context at all in this video, and I'm sorry about that. So as I'm editing, I'm trying my best to show you both, because I think both approaches can be interesting and a little bit more varied, so you see more examples of these markers in action. So let's see, hopefully this works when I put this together, and I'm sorry if this seems confusing, but hopefully this clears it out. So I mentioned in the previous video, but just in case you came straight here, I have worked with markers before, so I'm not learning anything. I can't tell that I'm an expert in markers, obviously I'm not, but I have worked with markers before. I got them for uni a while back, and I got a couple of sets. I had like a pro marker set, the one that had I think 24 or 18, I'm not really sure, which is pretty limited. They're very saturated. I like the pro markers, they're good, but they had like not the chisel and the little bullet nib, so I basically didn't have anything to experiment with the nice nib. I did buy a couple of individual Copics, but they were really expensive, and to be honest, the ink lasted very little and dry off. As for the Pro markers, most of them still work, and it's been like 5-6 years and I barely use them after that. I did use them for quite a while, but then I just stopped because I felt very limited by the selection. I used them at uni, and then what I decided to do is use them for a full Inktober. This is something that I used to do to learn a medium and get familiar with them. And to be honest, it has been one of my favorite medium to pull out artwork really fast, because I can work quite fast and do quite decent pieces with markers, at least with my style. I feel like it's a fast medium to pull in. Even my mom was like, really, you did this like in a couple of hours that you've been here? So I feel like it can allow you to have pretty decent results, pretty decent illustrations in a short span of time. The thing too with markers is that they're light fast, so I think is light fast the word? Pretty sure it is. They won't last you a long time. Like if you want to hang a picture with markers, it's probably not going to be the most durable media that you can use, but it's still a really nice media to use in your sketchbook or for fun little illustrations, things like that. I still find it like it's a very fun media. It really allows you to do a lot of things. So I'm going to show you really quickly. These are the swatches of the markers, but again, if you want to see them properly, you can go ahead and see my previous video. Sorry, my cat's in the way. So these is the swatches that come on with the markers itself. And as you can see, there's a lot of variety here. A lot of skin tones, and I basically managed to take the one that didn't look nice. Then a lot of pinks, purples, blue. This probably is my favorite card. I love some of these violet tones, the blues and the greens the most. And then this is the last card with a lot of grays, which is also good because grays are really very blendable sometimes when you need, like this one, even if it's a gray, has a purple shadow, so you can use it with the purple to blend it in. One of the big things that I find in this is that you can always find, probably in this card you will find colors to blend in the colors and get a smoother transition, which was the thing that I struggled with the most. I could try to find pictures and show them to you so you can see what I meant sometimes when I felt lacking in some things. For example, maybe I only have one purple and I wouldn't be able to blend it with anything. I will have to get creative, which sometimes can be nice, but... So I'm going to show you quickly the few sketches that I did. I tried in this huge handmade sketchbook that I have, that I'm almost nearly finished with. Some of these pages are painted on, although, because I've been kind of using them separately. Like not the proper, okay, here it is. So I did this sketch, not this blue, that blue is something I had before. I did this sketch like first, because this paper is very smooth and it's not suitable for anything wet. So I thought, let's try it with markers, see what it looks like. As you can see, this is the skin tone that I had. I tried with a blender, see if I could make it lighter. This is not the best sketch. I was just trying out the markers. I think I do like the hair. I think I like how it turned out. Doesn't have any highlights, which I usually like to do afterwards. And I didn't take any pencils. I wanted to use just the markers because I like both of the techniques. I like the technique with just the markers and the technique with the markers and pencils. That's why I got the set of pencils from Ohuhu too, that I still have to swatch. I just haven't had the time. So I did that, but then after trying on a couple of pages and a couple of sketchbooks, like really quick swatches, I decided I really like this paper for the markers for some reason. This is just a very cheap Talents Art Creation sketchbook. I picked it up because it was so tiny that I thought maybe with a tiny sketchbook I wouldn't have excuses, like it's so big, because that's what I found with this one. I just sometimes didn't want to take it with me because it was really big, and it was so cute that I had to take it. Here are Lois sticker and then a couple of mine. And I like this sketchbook, to be honest. It has like a yellowish sort of paper that I enjoy, and a lot of this sketchbook has been just filled with random things, even like pages that I don't really like. This one was trying out all the media that I could here. And it's not like a precious sketchbook for me, to be honest. I try not to have precious sketchbooks, but sometimes they turn out to be. But yeah, I don't know what it is about this paper that I feel like I really like the tone, and I might just get another one after I get done with this. Obviously still a long way to go, but to be honest, I I ran out like a few pages just with the markers, because obviously you can't paint in the back with markers. You have to leave like the back page done. Let me find the first, because I've done that before. See, for example, here I painted with markers, not these ones, but I couldn't use it, so I just decided to write a list on the back. But yeah, so let me find the first illustration that I did here. Okay, I tried out a little color here on this pencil sketchbook page, just because I wanted to see it. And this has been, she wants to come in my lap, but I don't leave her space. You'll be cuddling with me later, okay? My testing page for all the swatches. Then the other day I did this really quick spread. This is not really a thing I usually do. Flowers, I did something for my mom that she asked for a friend, so I did something really quick. But this didn't really allow me to test the blending properties or anything really well, and then I decided to start working on sketches, sort of inky, because I love to work with ink. So the hair is ink and the line work. I love to work with ink and markers. Sometimes it's tricky because even if you find waterproof ink markers, they end up bleeding just a little bit. I think I did it right in this one, that I didn't use a skin tone. I just used some pink touches. Not pink, it's the peach color that I told you about, but still worked well. So what I did these days is basically, as you can see, it leaves a mark. Oh, another thing that I really like is not here, but the markers come with like a white plastic page, so you can put it in the back and it doesn't transfer, which is, I don't think this would have transferred to this, but sometimes it happens. So it's good to have a sheet in between. I always used to have that, and I use the transparent sheet now. It's really nice because I think you can clean it. I haven't tried it yet, but I think you can clean it. So this is what I've been doing with the markers these days, what I've been experimenting a little bit with. So this is one of the illustrations. I've decided to work like this so I can take up more of the paper and enjoy more of the composition. Then, as you can see, middle blending page. Then this is a Christmas tree hair lady that I did for Christmas. Obviously I posted this on my Instagram if you want to see the process a little bit, but basically this is what I told you about the skin tone. It's not really, it's very, very yellowish, sort of pinkish. It was too pink, then I added some of the yellow tones and it turned out really, I don't love it. I don't think it's bad, but if it was a little less saturated, it would be perfect. But yeah, I did manage to have all of these tones for the hair, which I think I did a good job on making the strands and everything. Usually hair is one of the things I enjoy the most. And then I did a couple of monochromatic sketches here. This is not like, I feel like the anatomy is quite off, but I was more focused in trying to do something, sketch it, paint it. And then I did this one monochromatic too. I think this was Monica Bellucci. I don't know if in Dracula or something like that, because she was dressed kind of like this, and I painted it all in red. I'm not here I'm not focusing on having the anatomy perfect or anything. I'm just trying like to sketch with markers and ink and enjoy it. So those are the pieces that I've done so far, and I feel like I've enjoyed the process quite a lot. And again, I'm liking this type of paper, so I might even buy, after I try to finish, I need to finish this one and then I can think of buying new sketchbooks. But for the marker, I really like this type of paper. Alright, let's talk a little bit about what I like about these markers, what I've found out after months of use, because initially when I recorded this it was January and now it's August, so I've used them for quite a few months, mostly in just sketchbooks and you know, just doodles and things like that. I haven't done like a proper finished piece, but then again, as I'm working, it takes me a lot longer to jump into a finished piece, so lately I've just been focusing on my sketchbooks. So while you see me draw the apple ladies, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the markers and the pros and a little bit about the cons too that I found. So I've already mentioned this, and for me this is the major pro, is that the quantity allows you for literally everything. Like before, that was my biggest problem, like not having enough tones to blend things with smoothly and get the finished effect that I wanted. So having these incredibly huge amount of markers is literally amazing. Like I can literally do whatever, and I have markers. You can use any color palette. It allows you for blending smoothly. You have a lot of everything. I haven't noticed like any lacks of colors of any or anything. Like, to be fair, I probably haven't used all of them, obviously, but I think I have used quite a few different color palettes and color tones. Like, also that's why I did the apple thing, because I thought I will use more colors than that I haven't used before in this spread, like a lot more greens, a lot more reds, and a lot more yellows that I had used before, and that was actually nice. And also, as a little information about these spreads, what I'm trying to do is pick a limited color palette, the apple color palette, and then use it for the character that embodies the apple. So what I'm trying to do is just use those colors and not bring any others to the mix. I try to make work, and I actually quite like how the effect came along, because I try to put all of the colors from the apple in the lady in some way or another. Another pro, that's why I went for them, is that I literally just heard really good things about these markers, but also like the ink is very buttery and creamy, and I don't use marker paper. I assume that in marker paper is even better, but in just these normal sketchbooks I really like how the ink flows. It's very nice. I don't know, I feel like it has a good quantity, sometimes even maybe too much quantity of ink, so it has a really big flow of ink, and it's really nice to spread it out and to, you know, create smooth colors. As I say, this is not marker paper, so obviously it's not going to be the same as if you have the proper things, but I feel like it looks really, really nice in this paper. Really like it. And then the brush nib is really super nice. It has the perfect size for you to blend and to do different type of sizes when you're painting. Like, you can do the really thin size with the thin end, or just do a big swipe with the side of the nib, and then it gets really big. So you can, like, it's really flexible, it's really nice. I like the feeling of it, I really do. It doesn't scratch the paper. Like, for some reason I've heard some of these, I've seen reviews of some of these cheaper type of markers that I like are like scratchy. No, this is really nice and soft and buttery. I really like the feeling. So I don't think I have much more to say about the pros of these, because I really can't think of anything else. I just really like the feeling of working with them. I like the quantity of colors, and it allows me to do literally everything that I wanted to do. I can't speak of many more things. Like, I can speak of, like, it's been 6 months, everything seems to work perfectly fine. Like, none of them have dried out, the ones that I've tried. Still very buttery and creamy. Nothing new. Like, I can't speak of many more than that. I don't know how long it will take them to dry out. Like, that will be an important thing, but for now I'm not concerned, because I think, if I remember correctly, like, the first couple of Copics that I bought in a year, they were dry. So let's see if these ones pass the year. I will tell you about that a little bit later in the year. And another pro for me is the price. They're so affordable. I talked about this in the swatching video, and I don't remember the price right now, but just keep in mind that I think it was less than $1 or euro per marker. I think it cost me less than $200 or euros to buy all 320 markers. So that's really, really cheap, and that's for me like the biggest pro. Okay, now let's move on to the cons. I'm gonna be honest with you, these are not huge cons. I just thought I'll mention them because I like to be honest in my reviews. I found a couple of things that could be a little bothersome. I don't know how to talk to them. They're not really cons, but a little bothersome sometimes for me, is that it takes you a huge amount of time to find the colors that you want. It's good that you have the swatches made and everything. Sometimes they look a little bit different depending on the paper, but that's totally normal with markers. But sometimes when I try to decide some colors, like 5-6 colors to draw on, it literally takes me like 15 minutes to find them in the case. And I have it open, I have it on the side. I think you can see it in some parts of the video. So you can literally see them all. And it's still quite hard for me to find the markers because there are so many. Like, this is, I don't know how to call it. This is not really a con. Like, I have so many. Of course, it's going to take some time to find. But I don't know, it's just that, like, I feel like it takes a long time, but it's still worth it. So you will notice that sometimes I cut off some parts, and basically it's me looking through the markers to find them. Yeah, it's kind of a little puzzle though, like it's not too bothersome depending on the hurry that you have, but sometimes just for sketching I quite prefer to just grab some markers randomly and do something with them instead of overthink the color palette, because it will take me longer to grab them. Then, something that could be bothersome, but it only happened to me like a couple of times and mostly with the first swatches, is that sometimes there seems to be so much ink on the nib that when you open it on top of your paper, you can see a few drops, like really, really tiny drops of color. I don't know how to say it, splatters when you open it. It's very tiny, it's not a huge deal, but I thought I'll mention it because there has been a couple of times that I've noticed like the little splatters around my drawing for a concrete marker that I opened. It doesn't happen with all the markers, and it doesn't happen every time. I think it will probably happen more the first few times that I use some of them that have this problem or whatever. I think it's just that they have a lot of ink, and for some reason, if by any reason they have been like maybe laying down, they have more ink on the nib, so it just splatters a little bit. As I said, nothing dramatic, but I thought I'll mention it because I want to be completely honest with you. So that's like one thing that sometimes I was a little bit more careful about, like especially when I was doing the swatches, just trying to open them a little bit farther away from the paper. And I think that's all I have to say about the markers. Honestly, I wanted to do this extra commentary because I think I've already mentioned these things in the swatches video, or some of them at least, but I thought it would be good to have them over here too, as I was showing you how I test them. I know this isn't the best video because I couldn't record from another angle because of the way my desk was set up, and I know that I put my hand over it a lot of the times, but hopefully you still enjoy the process. I try to cut off the parts where I was painting indefinitely with my hand on top, like most of the time, so you can see more of the process. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these here, but before I go, and I leave you with some music for the rest of the process, at the end of the video you're gonna see a quick little sketchbook tour where I show you some of the sketches that I've done with markers in this time. There are not many, most of them as you have seen before in the video what I was showing you, but I've done a few more, and also I'm showing you this spread a little bit better from a top point of view recording. So if you have any questions about markers, or if you want me to do some sort of tutorial video, some challenge video, I was thinking it would be fun to do some sort of like 3 marker drawing challenge or 5 marker drawing challenge and just pick random colors or something. It could be fun with this amount of markers. I feel like it could turn out into something interesting. So if you want to see any of that type of content, I really enjoy working with markers, so it will be fun to record for me. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see the swatching process, you will be able to see it in the previous video. I will soon upload to my swatching process of the pencil, the Ohuhu pencils that I've also bought. You might have seen them in this video as well. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye! So let me show you what I've done with markers in my sketchbooks since I got them.